Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gids. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. So today I am doing first impressions from the House of Initio. I've got the samples just there, and I thought it'd be interesting to do a first impressions of this recent launched from their Supercharged collection, which came out this year, 2026. They launched 2 fragrances from their Supercharged collection. I haven't heard a lot of people speaking about these fragrances, so I personally went into the Covent Garden boutique here in London to go and have a sniff and to kind of smell some fragrances and go and experience the new store that opened, I think, in April of this year. And they were kind enough to gift me some samples, which was very nice of them. Now, what's really interesting about this launch from the Supercharged collection is that Initio have used Neuroscience to help launch this collection, and the fragrances are meant to bring the wearer a sense of joy, increased confidence and energy levels, which is quite bold claims. Now, Initio say that these fragrances have been scientifically validated through a pioneering neuro-olfactive protocol measuring the brain's response to scent in real time. Powered by the JOYDROP complex, it activates multiple neutral pathways within the reward system, generating a measurable surge of pleasure, indulgence, and addictive joy. Now, these fragrances, according to Initio, incorporate the brand's proprietary JOYDROP complex, which is a molecule system designed to stimulate the brain's pleasure pathways, boosting the wearer's mood and self-assurance. So it's really interesting because they say JOYDROP complex, a molecule system. So it's not actually a molecule itself. It's kind of their own system or their own scientific research that they've done with different individuals testing out these fragrances. Essentially, what I understand is they are trying to do something different. And I always applaud a brand who are trying to do something different, especially in 2026 when you have so many brands launching new fragrances, and it's probably really hard for a brand to stand out. Let's try them out. We have 2, as I said here. One is called Sugar Blast, and the other one is called Wild Rush. So let's start off with this one, which is called Wild Rush. Now, Wild Rush is described as an aromatic fougere combining bergamot, lavender with red berries, caramel, vanilla, patchouli, and sandalwood, creating a contrast between fresh aromatic facets and a sweeter, warmer base. This, infused with the JOYDROP complex, activates the brain's reward pathways, transforming scent into a measurable expression of energy, confidence, and aliveness. Okay, all right, Initio, let's see if your fragrance lives up to those claims. Right, let's take it out of this. Now, this is a 1.5 ml, and let's give it a spray on this card. So I'll do some sprays on this and then on this as well. Okay. Okay, first impressions, I'm going to be honest. It smells of something which has been around before, if that makes sense. It doesn't smell like anything new. I'm definitely picking up lavender, 100%. I'm picking up a lot of lavender in this. Something slightly spicy. I'm not getting a lot of any sort of fruity elements to the fragrance. I thought with the red berries, there might be more of a fruitiness coming through, but you see, it's interesting. On the card, it's a lot sweeter. On my skin, it's almost quite woody, quite musky. I mean, it's not a bad fragrance. It's not bad at all. However, all of this spiel about JOYDROP complex and inspiring joy, making the wearer feel energized and joyful. It's not giving me any of that. It just smells very pleasant, very polite. It's a nice fragrance. It's a nice fragrance. It's very smooth. It's pleasant. But bearing in mind, this fragrance is £275. That's a lot of money. And I know Initio fragrances are not cheap, but this is a lot of money. A lot of money. £275 for 90 ml. So this one has red berries, caramel, lavender, bergamot, vanilla, sandalwood, and patchouli. It's a nice fragrance. It's got a warm, sweet undertone to the fragrance. I'm not picking up anything fresh or fruity or bright. It's quite warm. It's quite, has a bit of a spiciness to it. Like there's almost like some sort of pink pepper or something in it, which is giving it a bit of spice. I'm getting a lot of lavender in this. I'm getting a lot on my skin. It's just like a lot of lavender, which I guess fougères generally are known for having lavender. It smells very polite. There is a classiness to this. It does smell classy, but it's not memorable. Like this isn't a memorable fragrance. And considering they're talking about they've created this JOYDROP complex, and they've done all this research, and they've used neuroscience to create this, it doesn't make me feel boosted with energy or confidence or even joy. I know I've just sprayed it, but it's not inspiring me. I don't feel that inspired by this fragrance. I think it's pleasant, but I don't think it's anything amazing or particularly original. Okay, let's leave it on skin and let it keep developing. Let's move on to the next one. This one is called Sugar Blast. This fragrance is described as a gourmand vanilla fragrance for women and men. Sugar Blast features vanilla, praline, ambroxan, rum, coconut, cashmeran, and lavender. Interesting. Okay, so let's give this one a try, and let's spray this also on card and on skin and just see what we get. Let's just do this. Ooh. Wow. All right, let's do some on skin as well. That's a bit more my style. Okay. All right. So this one, again, just to remind you of the notes, this has vanilla, praline, ambroxan, rum, coconut, cashmeran, and lavender. This one I actually quite like. This one I like. This one I actually prefer more. I'm getting a lot of coconut and a lot of rum from this fragrance, and it's quite a sweet fragrance. As the name would suggest, you'd expect it to be sweet. It's described as a gourmand, and I quite like this actually. I find it sweet, but it's not too sweet. I personally am not a big fan of overly sweet gourmands. It's just not something I really enjoy. I find anything overly sweet can become very cloying very, very quickly. However, this is balanced really nicely. Like for me, it has the right amount of sweetness. And I really do like rum. I love coconut. Here it's been done really, really well. And I love it because it's not sharp or screechy. It's quite smooth. It goes really nicely on skin. It's really dried really nicely on the skin. And on here, on the card, it smells a little bit fresher than on skin. On my skin, I'm getting a lot of coconut and a lot of rum. I mean, Initio is saying that these fragrances activate the brain's reward pathways, transforming scent into a measurable expression of energy, confidence and aliveness. I don't get any of that from these fragrances. I think they're both nice. This one is just lavender, straight up lavender. They are nice fragrances, okay? This one is quite sugary now. It's quite sweet, quite sugary. Very sugary. And I don't feel I'm getting any of that from the fragrance. I'm genuinely not trying to bash the launch of these fragrances, and if you own these and you like them, keep enjoying them. That's great. But I just think if you're gonna sing and shout about you've created these new fragrances and you've used neuroscience and you've got this, what did they call it? A JOYDROP complex, and you've done research and it's to inspire, you know, feeling confident and joyful and alive and energized. That needs to somewhat be reflected in the fragrance. And I get it, it's subjective. Not everyone is going to feel the same way, but you're saying you've done research and you've launched these fragrances and they will give you that effect. I also don't quite understand this launch, because what is this JOYDROP complex? What is it? Is it a molecule? Is it just your research? Like, what is it? What is the point of this? And this is why I said in one of my previous videos that fragrance brands are going through a bit of an identity crisis, because they're trying to appeal to fragrance wearers, because, you know, fragrance has exploded and it's growing exponentially. They're trying to appeal on the one hand to fragrance wearers, you know, the Gen Zs, the people that like to wear fragrances, and communicate to them in a more interesting way, because, you know, people wear fragrances now, not just for other people, but a lot of people wear fragrances from themselves. A lot of people work from home now, so they're not always going out and seeing people, but they will still wear a fragrance even at home. They'll wear something which makes them feel good, feel uplifted. And you could say that pretty much every fragrance has that effect on people, because there will always be someone who will wear a fragrance and feel amazing wearing it, feel alive, feel energized, feel happy, feel confident. So I just feel this launch has got a little bit confused. They aren't that memorable. And actually this one is very soft on the skin. The projection is quite soft. I don't think these are particularly groundbreaking. I don't think they are particularly that long lasting, which is fine. I think longevity isn't always a deal breaker for me personally. Why not launch these fragrances also in a way which is going to get you maximum impact? I haven't seen them spoken about enough. I haven't seen much promotional material. They should have perhaps tried to do maybe a concession stand showing how these fragrances were made. Maybe they could get people involved and they could see the way that the molecular structures work. Or maybe they could show people and how brain activity can be measured when it comes to fragrance. They could have done so many different things with this launch. I just feel it all just felt very flat. And Initio, if you are watching, anyone from the brand, I have a feeling you're probably going to launch more from this Supercharged collection. Please do consider maybe showing the public how you created these fragrances. I think that would be really interesting and a nice way for people to get to know more about these brands. I just haven't seen anything about it when it was launched. It just was launched and then that was it. But they clearly have really thought this whole thing through, and they would have been researching this maybe a couple of years in advance. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It all sort of fell flat. And smelling the fragrances now, I'm going to be honest, I can barely smell them on my skin. Sorry, this one on this hand is called Wild Rush. This is the Fougere. And this one is the Sweet Gourmand. So they might launch more in this collection, I'm assuming, with the amount of research they've probably done. They've probably spent quite a lot to do this research and launch these fragrances. But I don't know, that's my kind of initial review. They're not particularly that interesting or exciting. I know not every release has to be. Sometimes brands want to just also create mass appealing scents. I just think for a brand like Initio, they could have done a bit better than this. They've actually launched some great fragrances. I mean, Even Oud for Greatness, I think, is a great fragrance. I have rediscovered this. I'm loving it again. Atomic Rose is a great one. I know the collection in the white bottles, I think they've got some great ones. Musk Therapy is great. I really like Power Self is a good one, quite a musky, aldehydic kind of fragrance. Also Side Effect, that's a great one. They have lots of great fragrances in their collection. So when I see brands just launching stuff for the sake of launching stuff, so that's my review. I'm sorry, I probably didn't give you very much in this review, just to say I don't think they're worth the money. I don't think they're anything special or particularly groundbreaking. I'm always going to be honest on this channel. I'm always going to keep it 100. If I'm not feeling something, I'm just going to be honest and say, you might like these, and if you own them, like I said, keep wearing them, enjoy them in the best of health and love them. But anyway, if you've tried these, let me know. If you own them, let me know. You might disagree with my opinion, that's okay. We are all allowed to have a different opinion, and this is mine. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and if you like it, I hope you're not offended. I just needed to share my honest first impressions. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video very, very soon. Take care.